Okay, so I'm gonna work on some editing for a little while because I've got this project from my clients. In my other notebook, I am writing down just kind of a summary of what happens in each chapter. And then I also have some references in there specific to some of the things that I'm finding in the work. So on my computer, I go ahead and pull up like ambient noise for the background. So I have a cozy old castle room with rain and fireplace sounds, and it is a 12-hour video. It does have the ads, so every now and then I have to like stop what I'm doing and skip the ads or whatever, but for the most part, it is some random background sound for when I'm working. So yeah, there's an ad. I have to sit through real quick because I just started it back up, but I got this cover for my pen. I'm loving it. So, okay. So I maximize that on my screen so that I don't see anything else that's coming up on my computer. But, y'all, I love this thing. So one, it makes it a lot easier to grip my pen, and because everything on here is glass and this just slips around, so it makes it a lot easier. But we're gonna go ahead and get started, work on this. I usually do about half-hour sections at a time. They're about half an hour covers, and right now I'm doing like one chapter at a time. But again, putting the summaries, all that kind of jazz, but I can write on the screen and everything, so it makes it really easy. And then I can actually export just the annotated pages to my clients as well, so it makes it a lot easier for them too. So let's check the time and let's get editing, because we got projects to do here, kids. All right, here we go. If you hear talking in the background, that is my husband and my kid playing Fortnite in two very different areas of the house. It's funny though. All right, I have to look something up. Okay, you're going.
Okay. So we have ordered all the parts so we could install an irrigation system. So we have 63 plants, pepper plants, and about 15 or so flowers that we need to water on a daily basis. Of course, Texas heat means lots of what word am I looking for?
I don't know. There's a dictionary right here. Evaporation?
Thank you, evaporation.
Okay.
Yeah, there are lots of evaporation because of the heat, so we have to water on a daily basis. And of course, you know, the plants just don't like the heat that we're having here in Texas. We had 105 yesterday in Austin. It was
Don't hit the table.
It was like 96 in the backyard yesterday when we got home at 7 o'clock at night. So on a daily basis, no matter what, we have to water. So the plan is we're gonna have an irrigation system that's on a timer that we don't have to spend every single day going out into the garden and watering. So if something happens, we're gone, or we want to take some time off, we can let the irrigation system water the plants. We don't have to worry about it. All we have to do is prune and worry about the pepper pods, picking them and, you know, using them for production. But irrigation system will eliminate our need to water on a daily basis, us personally. So I got some half-inch tubing, which is going to be our main lines that run through the backyard. I got 200 feet of it. From there, well, let me back up. So we're going to attach a splitter on the on our hose bib. One is going to go to our regular water hose that we use, so we can still maintain and use a water hose if we want to. the other side is going to go to the timer. And from that timer, we're going to put a second splitter so that we can split the system into 2 sections. Because of the way the garden is laid out, we're going to have to run 2 main lines to be able to hit everything. So this is the timer. It was highly reviewed on Amazon and of course some YouTube videos.
Hold it still so we can see. So it's a raindrop set and flow automatic water timer, and it's got tons of cool settings on here. So I'm kind of like zooming in as much as I can here. So the different kinds of, it has 3 dials on it. So can you explain to us what the 3 different dials do?
Well, one of them is going to be, of course, the time of, in real time what it is. It's like a clock. And then there's going to be a duration, which is how long it's going to release water for. And then there's going to be the timer itself, which activates the water whenever you have it set for. So if you want to do it every 12 hours, you can, and you can say, I want to do 12 hours for 15 minutes, and that will be your settings.
Okay.
So
what does that attach to?
that is going to attach.
So we're doing several splits.
So that's going to go to the first split. So this side over here will go to the regular water hose, so that we can still use the regular water hose. This other side will be the timer, and then from the outside of the timer, we're going to have another splitter to split the system into 2 zones for the different parts of the garden.
Okay.
From the 1/2-inch main lines, we're going to...
So the main line is the hose that you're talking about.
Yes.
That attaches to the splitters.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and then of course we have the regular hose, which is, if we want, if we need to go out there and spot water something, we can.
Okay.
So I'm going to keep that ability for us to use the regular water hose as needed.
Now, is there any special way to attach that hose to those splitters? Because
yes.
that looks weird.
Yes.
Because the end on that hose is just straight flat.
Yes.
It's not, okay.
Okay, so, and then I have 2 of these. These are...
Looks like a sprinkler head.
So these are the faucet connection kits, and it's actually 3 pieces.
Hold that up. Okay, so this is what he pulled out. So, sorry. So there's 2 of these that he's talking about.
Yeah. So it has a filter section, which attaches directly to your hose bib or the timer or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it has a pressure regulator. So this system cannot function on normal household water pressure. It has to have a reduction in pressure and it's like 25 psi.
Okay, why?
Well, it'll blow out all the fittings. As simple as that. Okay. So, this is not a high pressure system. It's a very low pressure system.
When we water, we're not like blasting the plants.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a pressure regulator. Matter of fact, water is going to come out of the emitters, which is the emitter is the very end piece which emits the water onto the soil of the plant. But yeah, so it'll all just be a drip system.
Okay.
And then, so that's the pressure regulator. And then this is the compression fitting, which you actually put the 1/2-inch tubing on, and then it compresses, and it has a little lockdown thing to clamp it onto the fitting.
Okay.
So this is the part that makes the 1/2-inch tubing connect.
Okay.
So very important. Yeah, you definitely need that pressure regulator, because if you don't have the pressure regulator, every single fitting, every single thing will just blow apart.
Sweet.
All right, so from there, it'll have 1/2-inch tubing. We're going to run along, and then we're going to use these, which are, they call it a
1/4-inch barbed connector.
It's a barbed connector, but basically,
again, it says rain drip on it.
and this one's Rainbird brand. But okay, so there's a tool. So this tool is first thing. It's a cutter, so you can cut your tubing. But then it has this punch tool on there.
Where's the package for that?
There was no package.
What's it called?
It is a irrigation tool. I don't know. Yeah.
What's the paper say?
Oh, it came with the instructions. So this punch down tool will actually put a hole into the tubing so that the connectors.
It's called a punch and cut
Tool. But the connector will fit directly into the tubing, and then from that tubing, it's going to reduce it down to 1/4 inch tubing.
Okay.
So the 1/4 inch tubing is the line that goes to the emitter.
That goes to each plant.
Goes to each plant.
Okay, so the 1/2 inch hose goes down kind of like through the middle of the plants, and then the 1/4 inch hose, we're going to punch holes in the 1/2 inch in order to put the 1/4 inch, one for each plant.
Yes.
Which will then have the emitters put on it to drip into the plants.
And these are 1 gallon emitters per hour. But that's the rating.
So it says 60 pieces. Shrubs, black. Okay.
Yeah, so those are 1 gallon per hour.
Okay.
And we have 63 plants.
So you had to get more than one package.
We had to
because they
get
only
2
come in
packages.
60s.
So yeah, so exactly what is going to happen is that little emitter will be placed by the base of the plant, and it will drip water.
Okay.
So 1 gallon an hour. So, and of course, based on our timer and our schedule, is how much water the plants will get per day. So, in order to make that work,
What's that?
So these are the stakes.
Oh.
So that's all these are, is a little stake to hold the 1/4 inch line in, so it doesn't flop around.
Okay, so it's going to go into the plant, and then there's
Into the soil.
Yeah, and then there's this little C at the top where you pop the hose into it. Okay, so hold that. So here's like a big bag of them, and you can see the description. It just says it's like, okay, inch tube hose holder. So it really is just a hose holder.
Yep. That's all it does is hold the hose.
Got it.
All right, and to make everything all work together, of course, we have to have fittings. Just in case we need to splice any pieces or anything. So this is a 1/4 inch fitting kit.
Okay.
So it has...
Looks like a little tackle box.
Yeah, so it has these 4 ways. If I need to, come off one line and then split.
Okay.
So it has those. It has a T-fitting.
Okay.
So same thing. You come off of one line, you have 2 lines come off of it.
Okay.
And then there's more of those barbed fittings.
Okay.
Because we're going to need a ton of barbed fittings.
Close it so I can show them the reflector thing.
So that's the 1/4 inch kit.
Okay. So this is the kit I was talking about.
And it also has connector fittings. So for whatever happens, you need to extend your 1/4 inch line farther. There's a fitting on there so you can put 2 hoses together.
Okay.
And then this is exactly pretty much the same thing, but for 1/2 inch tubing. I don't know. Those are weird. Those are supposed to like flip it back.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, but so there's a T-fitting.
Yeah.
So it's just a box of the same fittings for 1/4 inch, but in 1/2 inch size. So.
All right. So for all of this stuff that we got, how much was all of this? Because that seems like a lot of pieces, and for 60 something plants.
It was like $275. But the most expensive parts, these were $25 a piece.
Okay.
So I mean that's $50 for the two splitters, and of course I could have gotten some brass ones, but these had really good reviews. People were saying that they don't leak.
Okay.
So
So when we do get all of this set up, which we're gonna try to do that today, What is your watering plan? So what settings are you going to use on the rain drip set and flow thing?
So my plan to start off with is, well, as of right now, because of the insane heat, I think I'm going to do twice a day, and I'm going to do 15 minutes each time.
Okay.
So, and of course, with that being said,
Should give them, what, a quarter gallon?
they will give them a half a gallon
I thought it was a
per
gallon
day.
an hour. Oh, yeah, okay.
They'll give them
half a
a
gallon, or
half
a quarter
ga-
gallon at a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'll be and of course we'll adjust, depending on how the plants are doing, if they need more water, less water. Unfortunately, these emitters don't have like a adjustability, so they're not a variable drip emitter. So they have others that are variable, so you can say, hey, I want to go from 1 gallon to 4 gallons or whatever, so you can each individually tune the emitters, but these are not that type.
Okay.
So I just figured we'll keep it simple, do everything based on time and duration.
Okay.
So
All right. So this should also help, though, with like extra water usage. This should kind of cut down on any of that and regulate water usage.
well, and it'll also help with exposing roots. So the way pepper plants, the way we water is I water the roots. I don't water the whole entire plant. So I don't make sure I don't water or put any water on the leaves. So I only want to water the roots and the soil. And because of the sprayer that I use, of course, it's a little bit more.
It's like a shower.
It's a shower, and of course, I don't spend a lot of time on each plant, so there's erosion caused from the water. So this system will prevent erosion of the soil around the roots, which actually is going to be healthier for the plants because I'm always having to put dirt back onto the roots because the roots get exposed. Okay. So this will eliminate soil erosion.
Okay, sweet. All right, and that's Otis in the background. All right, so it is pretty stinking hot outside today.
We need to mow before we install the system.
Yeah.
So that's my only concern is because of the way the garden is set up.
Bags.
Well, yeah, because everything's in bags, everything's separated. Once we have the system in place, we have to, when we mow, it's going to be fun. So we're gonna
Speak for yourself.
I know, we're going to have to...
Because we usually move every single plant in order to mow. So I move a whole row of plants at a time, and then you mow that area, and we just kind of shift around the yard. So this is going to be interesting.
So we'll have to disconnect sections. The one thing I did not order, and I thought I did, were valves, turn-off valves, for the half-inch line, so we could do it in sections. So if just for whatever reason, at the end of one of the lines, if we have a blowout, and if I can't repair it that day,
we can shut it off.
I can shut that section off. We can still water. So
is that something we could add after the fact?
Yeah, we can add after the fact. Yeah, I'm going to. But if we have a blowout or we have any kind of issues,
that shuts the whole system.
It shuts the whole system down until I can get it repaired.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well.
But for first time irrigation system, this should work great. We can always expand on it later on if we need be. And of course we can get the more, the more expensive emitters, but I don't think we need to. We'll just see what it does.
Well, may the force be with us today.
It's gonna be warm.
It's gonna be a job.
Hey, but at least we have shade. That's it. So.
Shade. You see how bright it is? Yeah, shade.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right, let the fun begin.
Okay.
So just for good measure, we're about to mow the lawn, right? Which means I gotta move all the plants. He's getting the mower gassed up and ready. And I checked the weather. Heat advisory in effect. Real feel is 99 degrees. Yeah. fun begin. Just so you know, it is 10 o'clock in the morning. That's when we're starting. 10 a.m. Still hot as balls. It's okay though. The yard has been mowed. Oh, nice. All right. Sounds like other people are mowing now. But this is kind of where we're at right now. Plants are looking pretty good. Grass is mowed. No hoses that you can see so far. But we're going to wrap one around the back so that we can water these plants over here and the raised beds in the back. And then we're going to have another one that comes around this concrete slab, wraps around, and then goes up to the raised beds. And then we're going to go out from there. So not quite sure on that plan yet, but here we go. Okay, so I figured I would explain what this thing is, and I think it's so funny and so cool. So I actually collect these things. That is a cicada shell. Now, if you don't quite know what a cicada is, I'm sure that if you have anyone slightly religious in your part of the world, you have heard about the end of the world and the locusts. This is the shell of a locust, right? A cicada. So they make noises. You can probably hear it in the background right now. But we have tons of cicadas here, and they're very, very loud at night, especially. And people who move from other states to come here have actually posted on Facebook before. I saw that they were trying to figure out if it was a bunch of rattlesnakes outside because it was so loud, and it is not. It is the cicadas that you hear screaming at night. So, and they do just kind of attach to anything when they come out of their shell. So if you look on the back, you can see, I'll see if, that it splits down the middle, and they just kind of come right out of that thing. It's pretty cool. And you can take these and like hang them on your clothes and freak people out, which is very fun, I gotta say. So I'm just gonna leave that there because it looks kind of cool. So there you go. Okay, so like he said, here's our primary spigot. We've got the first separator there, right? So this is going to still be a regular hose so that we can water things if we need to additionally. And then this other side is where the magic is going to happen, so to speak. So we have the regulator right here. It does require 2 AA batteries.
Timer, not regulator.
Timer, whatever. Well, it also regulates because it regulates that. But this has 2 AA batteries in it. So now it flashes, you can see that. And then we've got our secondary splitter right there. So that's what we've got so far.
I feel like that's gonna leak. Why is it loose?
Do we need like plumber tape between it?
I think maybe it might need another washer. Yeah, this is like really loose. I don't know why it's doing that.
Turn on to see if it leaks right now.
I know this part's not leaking. I've already tested it.
Okay.
But that is. So people were even saying that these you might need a second washer.
Okay. And it came with a second washer?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Oh, yeah, look. It's got spares.
Oh, that's weird. That one doesn't move that way.
Oh, they say about that about women, too. All right.
That's weird. I feel like that's gonna leak.
I don't know. Let's try it.
All right. Oh, I need.
Okay. That's what we got.
I feel like I'm not gonna do this on there.
Okay, so it took 2 of us, okay, to jam this tube on there because it does. So there's little like teeth underneath it, but
So like I had to hold this with the base of my palm and shove forward, and he had 2 hands on here to get it on top of those little teeth. And now it's actually in place. So this is going to screw down to hold it on those teeth so that it doesn't slide off. Okay. All right. Try this again. Okay. So now we have one connection. Yay! Ooh, while I'm here, let me show you what I mean. Okay, so see how it like has that little edge there? It's lipped so that's the little teeth I was telling you about. There's actually like 2 levels in there, and that's what holds the hose on it. Okay, so tucking it under there, and then we have these as well that will hold the tube down to like the side of here so that we can control it a little bit more. So he's trying to tuck the hose up under the concrete.
The best I can.
Okay, so he's got the T things for the 1/2-inch tube, because we've gone ahead and kind of set this one down our raised bed here, but we have plants this way and the raised bed that goes down this section. We can go back up. However, if we split this into T, then we can also hit this raised bed and then go back and forth down these 3 rows. So we're going to split the 1/2-inch, which he just did with this handy dandy tool. And now we got to cram that in there again. Not easy. So the same thing that the hose thing had, it has these little like ledges. That's what's on these as well. So this is going on that 1/2-inch tube. Woo! And then when it gets shoved in, you can see it actually like grips onto it so that it doesn't come off. But we also don't need anything to hold that on, like a ring or anything, because with the pressure regulator, it'll make sure that this doesn't blast out of it or anything. So we're gonna put another one over here. In case you're wondering, we have slacker number 1 named Otis. Very handsome. That's a good day. Oh, loves to stick clean. We have slacker number 2. This is George. Just sits around doing a whole lot of nothing. But, yep, yawning. We have slacker number 3 sitting on the ground. It's okay though, he's grunting, which means he's working. He works hard for the money. All right. Okay, it's been about an hour. We've gotten almost half of the yard done. So this whole section over here has tubes. You can see the tubes running.
Well, only the main lines.
Yes, only the main lines so far. There's Hank. But we've got the primary 1/2-inch line ran through there, and you can kind of see it poke through right there. So nothing on the other side of the yard yet or to the back, but half the yard. So we're inside to try to get some water and maybe some quick lunch, because yeah, there's a lot more to do, but it's hot. You better shake that off before you come in this house. Okay, so since it's like the hottest part of the day, we're kind of setting up a little bit of an thank you, Hank, a little bit of an assembly line. So I'm cutting tubes into sections. This is the 1/4-inch tube. And then he is adding one of the ends to one of the tips to that end. And then
that punches the 1/2-inch tubing.
So that's the punch into the 1/2-inch tube, and then the other one
Is the emitter.
is the little
Dripper.
spigot thingy, my Bob. Show me what you're working with. All right.
Whoa. Oh, and these do turn, so they might be variable,
Yes.
but I don't know how much.
No, I think they just aim. So that's what we're doing. So we're lined up on the table, trying to cool off a little bit, and putting these together. So show me what that thing is at the end.
The what?
Okay, so it's a special end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it has fancy.
And it goes in just like that. Just like that.
Okay, so these are the ones that you put together on the table. So this is the one end that goes into the tube. So the hole that he pokes, that's what he's putting in there. And then that other end has, so that I can get you where you can see it, has this little water spigot. And so that's where he's putting the stakes, this little thing, onto the tube so that it can hold it on there. And then it just holds it in place so that this doesn't go wobbling around everywhere. Okay. Hooked up all the little tubes. And got more over here. Alright. Looking good. So now he's getting started over there as well. I mean, it goes pretty fast. And then you can see you've already got some peppers on these. And get the hookup. Okay. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, so he's turning on the water over there. Yay! So you can hear it.
All right, it's running.
Drips in. So I can aim that down.
A lot of air in the line.
There we go. They're working. Just leaks right in there. So you ask yourself, like, why do we really need to water them during the day? Well, this is the shaded area, and you can kind of see what all the plants look like, right? Then there's the sunny area.
Well, this was sunny about 20 minutes ago.
Yes. So that's the thing, is it the I see your tuchus. So the plants, really, they perk up pretty quickly as long as they have, like, some shade to cool off for a bit. So getting the water in there also helps. As you can see, they perk up very fast. That was about 20 minutes ago. Those guys look so sad. They'll perk back up. Look at that. Oh no. Don't worry, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
What? You already recording?
You wanted to finish the video?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. We are short roll 1/4 inch tubing and a roll of 1/2 inch tubing to finish the back section. But all of this on this side is done, and 3/4 of these are done.
And we just hooked these up tonight.
Yep.
And all of this stuff got hooked up the other day, so you can see the tube running around. But we still need to do back along the fence.
So this is
And the tube comes out over there.
This is the first full day of using the irrigation system. So
Okay.
it rained overnight, and it watered twice today.
And so we're trying to adjust how much water they get, because you can see that the bags are wet. So that one's wet. You can see it on the base of the bag. So we know that we need to lower the amount of water that it's getting.
But at the same point in time, the heat is drying out the soil in the bags throughout the day. So it might be the right amount. We'll see how the plants react.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
but right now we're doing 3 times a day for 15 minutes apiece. So every 8 hours, it runs for 15 minutes.
Okay. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
It's kind of nice not having to go out here and water every day, or at least water all the plants. I had to water to the back a minute ago, but I mean, it took me 10 minutes to do that. This would have been a whole hour and a half ordeal to water all these. So cuts time out of our day, so it's nice.
Yay!
Till next time.
All right. This is the back wall. As you can see. Hello. And we have all the final little straws that go out to these plants. So the back wall has been done. All of those. This was kind of the first section that all got done. All the hoses have been working properly. Plants all look happy. So do the animals. Hello, Hank. See, look at that happy face. Oh, he's so handsome. So you can tell before, you could kind of see the difference that the plants had based upon their location. And we had some sad looking plants over here before, but everything has perked back up. The flowers are looking great. You can see just the little tube hanging out. They get watered throughout the day. And you can see everything looks nice and happy. There's Edgy. Hank. But everything's totally done. He is feeding the plants. So he's not watering, in case you're wondering. He's walking around with a watering can, but that's what has all of the extra nutrients and stuff that we are feeding the plants. And you can see it's like a little science lab back there at the little table. So the water hose is going over there so that he can actually feed the plants, not just water them. And you can tell that they're all well watered because you can actually see the darkness on the bags. Like, I'll take you over here. You can see there's moisture on the bag itself. So we're good. And you can see there's water coming out the bottom there. So, see the dark soil? That's the water. So everything's looking good. And we've got little buds coming out along as well. Our what schedule?
Hydration schedule.
For out here?
For irrigation.
Oh, okay. So out here, it's what, 15 minutes every 3 hours? What is it?
15 minutes every 8 hours, which means 3 times a day.
Okay, there you go. So.
And so today, after the midday watering, I turned off the system so I could feed tonight. There won't be a feeding overnight. Tomorrow midday, I'll start this irrigation system again.
Okay.
And we're feeding twice a week. Well, should be. We missed one.
And if the camera looks foggy, it's because of the humidity.
Oh yeah, it's 90 degrees and whatever the humidity is.
Yeah.
It's late at night.
It is.
It's dusk.
Let's look. It's 7 o'clock in the evening, just about. There's George helping us get rid of some plants there. Yes, it is evening, so it is humid. Look at that. It's just, everything's green in the backyard. Well, everything's coming up. And yeah, so everything these stakes are stuck into the plants. And we use little, in case you're wondering why we have bamboo sticks. So we actually have little hair clips down here that hold the plants as they grow, because they do get really heavy, especially with all the pods that grow on them. So you can see all the little flowers on there. They're getting ready. So if you look over here, you can see all the pods. Let's see, look at that. Gnarly looking little thing, huh? Got tails on these. And if you want to know, that is a hurt berry. But yeah, it is
a fun plant. Got, let's see, okay, tails. So everything's doing really well. And even, I mean, we've got flowers, you can see, and there's a beer. The sage is taking off like crazy. But everything is very foresty now. And you can see how bright they are.
Over 100-degree days for at least 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's been very, very hot, very, very humid. So usually the plants would kind of dry out during the day and they would get really sad and kind of start to droop. But with them getting watered on the schedule that they're getting, everything just kind of stays happy throughout the day.
And we haven't had rain, except for yesterday. We had 5 minutes. We haven't had rain in weeks.
Yeah.
So that's basically about to have drought situation if it doesn't start raining more.
Yeah, a lot of people are really concerned about drought. Look at that, so picturesque. Oh, got flowers, got a dog walking through the background. I'm literally standing in the middle, just in this little walkway. So I'm surrounded. All right. Still handsome. Yeah, all the dogs going crazy. But yeah, so everything's totally set up now. Everything's really taken off, and you can even see how well things have done since the other week when we started setting up the irrigation system. So plants are huge, and this is not even as big as they will get. So even this first plant, I mean, they usually get about 7 feet tall, higher than me. So they'll come up even higher to where these are. They'll come up there and be higher than me, or at least taller than me. So yeah, it's looking good. They're gonna get fed some more. See y'all next time.